currently at the Texas Supreme Court, and what do you feel is currently the best solution for the school finance lawsuit? And what is your plan to provide fair and adequate funding for traditional public schools? And let's be specific. Let's don't say, let's have some specifics in your answer.
Well, I would take the $1 billion that we use for corporate welfare, $35 million of it for Apple Computer that doesn't have any debt or cash on hand in the federal government. I would say, let's take that $1 billion, let's put that towards education. We have some really misplaced priorities in our Texas budget, and that's one of the reasons why I voted against the budget each time. Education is a parental responsibility, and we need to return education to the local authorities, to parents, to school boards. We need to get Austin out of the way. We need to let the money stay here. With respect to kind of following up on the last question, we have some really rich resources here. And instead of allowing our Constitution, which protects the rights of the minority, because from the many in Dallas-Fort Worth to come and take our water and our land and choose to collect it, let them come and build their businesses here where the water is. Let them fix their leaky system over there. They can flood their own backyard if they want. But I think we need business here in East Texas. They can come here, they can settle here. With respect to education, I think one of the things we can do with respect to taxation is we can eliminate the property tax. We can go to a consumption tax. And a portion of that can come back to the rural areas. So you go to Dallas-Fort Worth, perhaps we could elect where you could give them your zip code, and a portion of the sales tax or the consumption tax could come back to fund our local schools.
But I mean, okay, you have Carthage, which is a very rich county, and you have Marshall that, they send money to the state, and then Marshall is a very poor county, and money comes into the state, so the haves don't want the have-nots to have it, and it's a constant problem. You still haven't answered the question of how you would solve it. You talked about everything else, but how you would solve it specifically.
Well, I think a big portion, $1 billion, I think the education people would welcome it.
Well, that's $1 billion. $1 billion this year. What are you going to do next year?
Well, we would. That's what we've been doing each session, is spending $1 billion for appropriating it for corporate welfare. So that's a big step. I think individual children, the money should follow them, and that would be one of the first steps. Our present system, depending on what you were doing at the time, the financial standards were set, you get punished if you're more frugal, more responsible, and it does need to go away. And so I would say let the money follow the student. That would be one of the ways as far as doing it equitably. There's much we are funding in our state government that we don't have to fund. Education, Article 7 is a constitutional requirement. I support doing that.